Yes, Senator Boni.
Thank you.
I hope it's a new matter altogether, not related to what has already been raised.
Mr. Speaker.
Is it something new, Senator Boni?
Yes.
Proceed.
It is new to the extent that he has raised 4 things upon which you should rule. Mr. Speaker, I'm inviting you again to consider ruling on a 5th thing, namely that whereas this is the Senate, but in this chamber this morning and for the next 2 days, Mr. Speaker, we have converted ourselves into a trial chamber. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, any member of parliament seated in this chamber is seated here as a judge to what's going on. Mr. Speaker, the invitation I'm asking you to make is that if you allow the Honorable Osoro to then sit in this house and do something other than what a member of parliament is supposed to do in a trial chamber, is it not, Mr. Speaker, tantamount to having a sitting of the High Court, for example, where a judge who would have sat on that matter then jumps and becomes an advocate in the same court, Mr. Speaker? And Mr. Speaker, because we are now going to be setting a precedent, we request you to consider this issue long and hard, because we have some very eminent lawyers in the National Assembly and this Parliament who will then start abusing this to the extent that it will be the disadvantage to the impeachment process. I thank you.
Senator Sifuna.
Thank you, Honorable Senator. First of all, I join...
Is it on the issue of...
no, it's a separate issue.
It's on the issue of Honorable Osoro?
I want to go on record, Mr. Speaker, supporting to the positions taken by the 2 senators. But I wanted to, with your very great indulgence, Mr. Speaker, because one of the parties has asked us to make a decision on a matter, I was hoping, Mr. Speaker, I could find some clarification on the understanding of the rules of the procedure for this particular process. Mr. Speaker, allow me to find out from the advocate for the deputy governor whether in their understanding there is a distinction between evidence and an allegation. Because my understanding of the standing orders, at least as I have read them, is that for as long as there is evidence supporting an allegation that was present in the county assembly. And I'll give a very specific example. If you're being accused of, say, corruption, is it possible that if there are 10 pieces of evidence and 7 are used in the county assembly, is it possible or is it their position that the remaining 3 pieces of evidence supporting the same allegation that was present in the county assembly cannot be presented before the Senate? That is the question I want them to answer for me as I ponder what to do with their objection. And number 2, whether it is their understanding that a public participation is a evidence collection forum. Because in my view, Mr. Speaker, when you go for public participation, you are presenting the case against the deputy governor as framed in the county assembly for the public to engage with that case. So that if I'm being accused of corruption, and that is what goes to public participation, is it possible that other people, upon hearing those allegations, might also say, I was also a victim? And then what in their understanding are we supposed to do with that material? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Counsel.